to Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host, and we got Tom back.
What's up, everybody? Hello.
Somebody was on TikTok and was like, where's Tommy Guns? And I was like, slow down, he'll be back. He's all happy. She's like, we don't like those other
We
people.
have a fan base.
Oh, he does. And we have Trina.
Aloha.
Oh, I love when she does that. And today we have a special lady, Daniela. How are you?
Good.
Are you ready for a Valentine's special, everybody? We all got beads.
We got beads. We're all shiny. We're matching.
We're at the Super Bowl
Represent.
yesterday.
We're matching.
All right, there I am.
There you are.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
All right.
Tom refused to wear the pink beads.
No.
Why?
I
No,
don't
he's
know.
not wearing the pink.
Oh.
No,
Red's good enough.
real men wear pink.
Yeah, well,
It's Valentine's. You're the one that's all
it
into
matches my
love.
red, so I did the red.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Everybody had a good weekend?
Yes.
All right. So I guess we could jump into it, huh? Are
Let's
you
get
ready?
it. Let's get into this.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a great weekend. I had the Asian wedding. Remember I told you guys about that?
Fun.
And let me tell you, I thought Mexicans can drink. We have mistakenly overlooked the Asians. Let's just say they took shots at their vows.
Oh.
wow.
They stopped and took shots.
There you go.
Okay.
I was like,
You're serious.
oh, and they walked down the aisle just fine. And they drank and drank and it was open bar.
The whole night?
All night.
The whole night was open bar.
And you didn't call nobody?
I will say this.
Who did you take with you?
I was the minor. Well, we didn't get a +1 because literally it was like 98% Asians. And then we were the back table, the people he works with. So there was a handful of us people at work and we were like,
But that was nice that he included you.
I loved it. I felt so honored that I was there.
Oh,
I,
nice.
I cried. When he came out and walked down the aisle, I bawled. And the guys were like, shut up. So I was like, I felt like my son was getting married. Like he was,
How cute.
it was beautiful. So I was honored that I was
How old is
invited.
he?
Yeah.
My daughter's age.
Oh.
Or he might be a year younger than my daughter. But
You were crying because of the gentleman that invited you to his wedding was
getting married.
Because he was ruining his life.
Well, I did not say that. I did not say that. I will say his wife at the end of the night impressed me because he's such a sweet guy. And she's kind of like the assertive of one. And sometimes you look at that wrong, right?
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the night, because it's hard to explain. So I still worked there, but I checked into work so I could go back to the hall to get different jobs, right?
Mhm.
So she's like, I'm worried about him. I loved you working there. You protected him. And I was like, oh, you boss him around, but nobody else can. She kind of this is my man. No one's going to mess with my man but me. And so she totally got brownie points. So I was like, it was a beautiful wedding. We were invited. Music, I was worried about the music. They played some music. And there was a girl in the bathroom. And I was on the toilet doing my thing. And she goes, this wedding's going to be ratchet. And I was like, oh. Because
I was surprised Solomon didn't say anything on that episode when you were like, I asked them what kind of music they're going to play. And I'm like, you asked who?
I asked Will, the guy's wedding, who it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what music were you expecting?
So they listened to techno and what is it? EMD or
Yeah, EMD.
EMD?
Oh, okay.
EDM.
Okay.
EDM, yeah. So when he said that, I was like, there's not going to be any Rick James or
Nope.
Evelyn Champagne. No, but they played a lot of 90s rap, so that was good.
Yeah.
You're
So-
like, all right, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
can
was-
get out there
it was
with-
good.
I could shake my butt.
Yeah,
to
it
this.
was. And let's just say I had a little too much to drink.
You were trying to keep up.
I was, and let me
And
say.
you didn't send pictures in your dress.
I didn't. I will send you a picture in my dress. I will. It was fun. I did send my kids a picture in my dress, and my nephew said, Auntie's drunk. He's all in the face and the smile. It's evidence. He's like, I could totally tell. I was like,
Aw, as long as
So-
you guys had fun.
so we had a blast, and I was glad to be invited. So with that being said, I guess we could get into our topic since it's love, right?
Yeah, love.
Yeah.
Love.
Is it better to have loved and lost or never loved at all?
Daniela.
So we'll get into answer the
Right?
question first, and then we'll get into it. So
Yeah.
do you think it's better to?
I would say and I've been thinking about this since you text me, and when you invited me on, and you told me that this was going to be the subject, I was like, wow, I'm going to jump into a hot one here. This is
Yeah.
pretty,
Mhm.
and I had time to think about it. And at first, I was like, I've been dealt some pretty rough ones, right? Did I really need to learn some of them lessons? Maybe. You know,
No.
is it my fault that I had to learn a couple of them more than once?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go, but all in all, I think it's better to have loved and lost
Then never have loved at all.
than never have loved at all. There's just
I concur.
I agree.
there's just some things that I have taken with me to this day, and that I use whenever I find a partner or whatnot, or whatever I'm doing, dating or whatever, that have taught me a lot of lessons in a good way and a bad way. In some ways it's kind of maybe shut me down in some aspects, but then in some ways it gives me a lot of hope. Like I've talked to our other friend Leia, and I've had hearts with her. Would you like to spend the rest of your life alone, or will you try again? And
So our friend who I text and asked this question, the love of her life passed away. And they went through a lot of things. They, good and bad, or, no relationship is perfect. When I asked her, her first initial response was, oh, it's better to have loved and lost than never loved at all. And I was like, really? And I started, because I, for the record, don't feel that way. I'd rather have never loved at all than to have loved and lost.
Right.
Totally against all you guys. So as we were going back and forth, a few hours later, she sends me a text and goes, damn it, Alina, now you got me thinking. I think I would have rather never loved at all. And I
Yeah.
was like, see, didn't listen to me.
yeah.
I
I feel it's a very maybe at different times in my life I may have had different answers to that particular question. Just because at different times in our lives we're looking for different things. I had my daughter really young. I was married to her dad. Obviously I got divorced, became a longshoreman, and it at that aspect of my life it was easy to get through my divorce because I had something to fall back on. But then when I start dating again, it comes to the point where like, okay, now my daughter's 10. Do I start again? Is that what I want? Do I want to do the marriage? Do I want to have another kid? Is it too late, or is she's the one, And ultimately I made the decision that one and done. That was it.
Yeah.
And she's 28 and she's doing great and doing everything that she can. And I feel like
have you ever had your heart like ripped out and broken and shattered?
Yes.
Have you, Tom?
Mhm.
He's all,
He's
Trina,
What?
have you?
Several times. But I wanted to get back to when you say you were going through your divorce,
Mhm.
and then you became a longshoreman, and you
Mhm.
had something to fall back on.
Yes.
When you say something to fall back on, are you referring to making good money and not having to rely on this man? The man that you're
literally,
with?
I literally I feel like becoming longshore and falling into the industry became a kind of a love for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it was something that I gravitated to, something I did extremely well, something I made a whole new family.
It was adventurous, right?
And it was fun. And it
Yes.
was good money. And it was like, oh, that person could do it. I could do it. I could do that. I could go here. I could be that. And it was just one thing after another after another. And so that really helped me get through that, because that structure and everything I was looking for in a partner, that we were going to be together and live together and grow. And he was going to be my support. And when I got ripped out from underneath me, my work became my support.
Okay, I hope this isn't, I'm not trying to get off topic, but I feel like this has come up a lot in that industry. Do you think that's why a lot of women in that industry feel like, I don't need a man, I don't need another man in this industry because I can do it all by myself? I don't need a man to take care of me. I could take care of myself. I make good money. And then when there's the two of them, it's too much.
I think because I've dated in our industry, obviously, and I've dated outside of our industry for a long time, up until recently. I would say it's a plus and minus. It's a very hard, very thin line, because you date someone at work and you love that person because they understand you. They understand your work. They understand when you're working, when you're not working, why you need to work, whatever it is. They understand that, and you have someone to talk about that with. Not everybody knows what a longshoreman is.
Mm-hmm.
So then, when you date out of the industry, which I really tried not to say what I do for a living for a while until they get to know that person.
Mm-hmm.
But when you date outside and they're okay with it, until you just accidentally just tap that masculinity just a little bit, and then they're not okay with it. Then it becomes an issue. Then it becomes, oh, you're always working. Oh, why do you have to work nights? Oh, and then it's like, hold on, why are you judging my job? My job got me here. My job
Yeah.
got me to the point where I could take a week off and we can do whatever. My job got me to where, hey, you want to just spur of the moment, go do something. The money I make is what helps me get to that point. So it's a
I'm
fine
sure
line.
it doesn't matter whether it's a longshoreman or not. I'm sure
Mhm.
a lot of guys would do that anyway, depending on whatever career the woman's in.
But I think kind of to say what you were saying, Trina, like when we got in, we were young,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a third of the women, I would say now, right?
Yeah.
So
ALS,
for
yeah.
us, we had to prove ourselves.
Right.
We didn't get to wear leggings under the hook. We didn't get
Shorts
to
or-
wear,
No.
yeah. So we had to be these badass women. So that kind of became our personality.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm 5'4.5" and I weighed 125, 30 pounds, and I got in a top handler and I was better than the 5 guys that I was working with, like that really boosted my ego, right? Like, and not that I didn't need a partner, but like she said, it was fun to go to work.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to deal with a man being jealous or judgmental because I loved my job. I had 2 amazing kids. I was able to support myself. So if you didn't come with me with positivity and all you came out was negativity, then I just didn't need to
Right.
deal with you.
There was no time for it.
And we do, when we came in, you got men's respect because you worked hard.
Yeah.
So it was almost like that part of our life was fulfilled
Right.
when we went to work, and then we'd go home to our kids, right? So that's why it's a little bit different than if I was working an office job or a librarian or, something a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just wondering where the exterior part of like being like, I don't need a man type of energy.
I think that energy comes like
the person, not the
just-
job.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that whole energy has been more and more today. Like
Oh,
just
yeah, I
kinda
think
More
that's
getting
now,
out
and
there.
I
Okay.
and,
You
and that
know?
goes to another thing as
every
like
industry.
having different stages in your life as well. You know, like I know like now I'm happy where I'm at. I'm good. But when you're younger, you're craving that togetherness. You're looking for that partnership. You're looking, and you look where you work because that's where you're at,
Mhm.
right? Or at the bar because you're partying or whatever. But you're looking where you're at, and you're constantly looking in that same category, and you get a little burnt, and after you're just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna not do this down here anymore. You're gonna find somebody else, and then you find someone else, and you get pretty much the same response because we do make good money. We are, for the most part, all my friends, women that work down there, we're all the same kind of minded.
Yeah.
Very strong minded, very even keeled. We know what we want. We go for what we want. Like, either drive crane, top handler, supercargo, planner, whatever it is. Everybody, all the women I've known have always progressed more and more and more and more, and take pride in that.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we all. When she taking the class, and I'm like, yes, take it, do it,
Yeah.
don't turn it down. That's one more step in our career, and we kind of been raised that way after
Do you
27
though,
years.
So like with the whole love thing, 'cause that's what we're talking about, right? Do you think though there's times where you really might genuinely love the person, but your timing is just totally
Timing
off,
is
right?
everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like where they're at in their life or where you're adjacent to where, they live and you live and everything's lining up and it just doesn't land. And
Yeah.
like sometimes we think, if I love them, like it's just going to work.
Right.
And,
Right.
you can love them, and it doesn't mean it's going to work because you have so many other factors going on in there, and you could really love them, but you're just like the timing's off. There's other obstacles in the way. There's
You have
other
younger
things.
kids,
There's
maybe?
younger kids, where you live, how far they live, how often you're going to be able to see them. All these different things that come, whether your family, blends well with their family, whether they like you, whether they're, all these things have to come into place. Finances, everything is just so complicated, especially as in our age now. It's like now you got more and more of those things versus when you were younger.
Yeah.
You
That's
guys
what
were
she
both
said.
blending,
Yeah.
right? You were both learning and navigating through life, and you guys just kind of could mold together
Yes.
because you were just
And I feel
figuring
that's
it
easier,
out.
like when you're younger and you kind
You're
of
established
go through
now and you
you've
can't.
gone through everything, and like you said, you've built together. You know each
Yeah.
other's little nuances and how this
Yeah.
person feels. You're like, okay, I'm going to be over here today or whatever. As to when you're older and you're just like I'm not in the mood for.
Sometimes
any
you're
of this.
just locked into
Just-
your
you're
way.
just-
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Like this is my bed. I'm going to. Bed.
I don't want to
It's
be
like-
too locked into my way though, because my dad. I was
Yeah.
talking to my dad the other day. I told him the whole, and I'm like, Dad, you're 74.
Wait, what was his thing? What is his opinion?
He didn't go one way or another,
Oh.
but I'm just in the
So
conversation.
no one's
though,
on my side?
No, he didn't. He is so bitter and so stuck to being like, oh no, I would never get married. I would never want to. And I'm like, Dad, that's because you pick one wrong one, and you have this mindset
Yeah.
that like all women are no good, that it's not going to work. And I'm like, no, you just got the wrong one. And then what happens is,
Does he date?
no. So what happened? Well,
Why are you
okay, let me talk.
Oh no,
So
what's up, Daddy?
what happened? So he went like, when he went like to go trying to dance or like at this dance place where they teach you to dance with his friend. His friend's like 84, but his friend's like really
Hey.
out there and fun guy, And so I was like, Dad's like, he said he gets there, it's like him, his buddy, and like 30 something ladies, and he's just like, and they're like, hey, and my dad's like, oh. Like I'm out of here, But he said, though, he goes to like, well, I go to the Elks Club, and he goes, have you seen the ladies that are 70-something years old? He's like, and I'm like, dang, Dad. I go,
Does that
that's
mean they
why
look good or bad?
that they look horrible. He said,
Really? Oh, no.
well, he goes, if you're in there drinking, how do you think you look? You're
They
not
look
taking
better
care of
after a
yourself.
couple drinks, don't they?
He's not drinking.
Oh.
They're drinking. So they might think they look better after a couple drinks.
They get
But my
brazen
dad,
too
and
after a
so
couple-
what I was trying to say is like, Dad, like, that's why you got so, because I hear it all the time with everybody, I'm good by myself. But if you get too comfortable by yourself, I don't want to be bothered. There you're my dad. You're 74 and you're with nobody. Had you got together with some woman at 54, that still looked pretty and you grew old with her, and now she's got these wrinkles, now she's a little heavy, now this and
Yeah.
that. Cool.
So how would you feel if he dated a younger, like he went to the Elks and there was a younger?
like a 54-year-old, 60-year-old.
Whatever he was happy with, as long as he is not like
if she was
bitter
your
and
age?
angry and everything
What if
else.
she was your age?
What if she was your age?
I don't care.
More power
Right?
to her.
I was
wants
just
to
saying,
do.
damn.
Like whatever, she makes him happy, and he's not in that old crotchety ass
Yeah.
state.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say,
You
where's
know?
he hanging out? Because maybe
Yeah.
he needs to switch up where he's at.
He's
Which
been like that.
outlaws is he going
My
to?
dad's
Elks
been this
Lodge.
guy all my life, and he's just a little bit like
Yeah.
a little rough
Well,
on the edges.
I'm not bitter, but I would rather have never loved than have loved and lost. It's too heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like it's
What?
not worth it to me.
You would rather have not loved.
Yes.
So okay, the gentleman that passed,
Mm-hmm.
the love of your life,
Javier.
Javier. Is it because he passed?
Yes.
Okay, so it's because of that.
So,
So someone
imagine
needs
like
to come and love on you well.
well, but
Mhm.
okay. So, and since this is the topic, we're going to get into that. Like, because Leia and I talked about this, and she said, "Do you think because we have all these emotions and feelings because we were so young?" Yes, we were young. My first real love. It's raw. It's innocent. You're not shattered or jaded, so you're not holding back. You're not ghosting. You're not
Right,
playing any of those
right.
games. Right. Your whole heart is just on the table for him to do, and vice versa, right? His whole heart was on the table for me to run over, do whatever with. Like that was us, right? So you mold into this thing with this person for 3 years, and you have this love. We didn't break up. He didn't say "F you, I found somebody else," or vice versa. It just ended. So there was no closure.
Right.
So now, and she also said, we also forget all the bad things that they did.
Right.
Because they're gone, right? And believe me, there was some bad in there. It wasn't all good. Believe me, my sister's probably listening like, oh, do you remember this? And do you remember that, right? But you don't remember that once they're gone. But what I do remember is I never walked on the outside of the sidewalk. He always opened my door. All these little things that a lot of guys don't do.
Right.
If we were at a party and I was with him, he held my hand the minute I walked in. He always was in front of me. He was like 6'2" maybe. So he was always in front, or 6'1", I don't remember. And I was always behind him. Yeah. He was always my protector. Okay. Something ever happened, I got thrown in the car. We'd go to a party and they're doing something they shouldn't be. Hey, knock it off, Alina's here, or let's go, right?
Yeah.
So that today, I have never found that.
No.
Okay, but if those are your expectations of somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then those are the things that you share with the person that you might be engaging with.
I shouldn't have to teach a man those things.
You shouldn't have to.
Agreed.
But at our age, right? At our age, it's like, this is what I want. This is
No, but if
I'm having to still not explain to my husband, but I feel like it's okay to constantly remind each other how we want to be loved.
Right.
That's the only way he's going to fill my love tank is
Right.
if I express it to him. And I'm not looking at it as, why do I have to tell you you're 64 years old? You should already know. I'm just telling him because maybe he does need a reminder every now and again. I may need a reminder too of however he needs me to love on him or what his expectations are of me. Somebody wants to love you.
So
And
this
you
Yeah, but
deserve
the-
to be
so-
loved.
Absolutely.
But here's my thing. I have loved, like, not loved
And
like
lost.
that. I've loved and like, I have cared about people, right? Like I've cared about my son's
You
dad
loved your
as
man that passed.
as
and you
much as I
lost.
could love him at that time in my life. But here's the thing is I look back now and I'm 50.
Mhm.
And I think the older I get, the harder it is for me to love. And this is why. So men die before women. So let's say I find the love of my life tomorrow, or
Don't
I
worry about
find
that
him
forever.
today.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, my reality is he could die in 10 years. He could die in 15 years. Men die first. Like, so that is, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe. No, I've already dealt with that. So don't tell me not to think about that because that happens.
So your thought process is this person's going to die suddenly and you're not going to get closure.
Yes.
So
and I'm going
anyway-
to get
You guys
my
are gonna
heart
break
ripped
out.
out again.
Yes.
So, anyways, you're you're not going to put it all out there.
No.
So you've already said right now.
Yeah.
So right now, this man, though, this guy that would before. So if somebody else is dating you and he's looking at, he's like, he's already like behind the 8 ball. Like he's already like you've already displayed. This is the guy, and so this guy is just on eggshells, on tippy toes with you. He's not going to put it all in, and he's already heard the way your responses and everything that you're talking now, and then you say stuff like that to be like, well, I'm not going to because of this. So it's like,
Well,
why
that's
would that
something to
guy?
keep to
Why
yourself.
would that guy
You
come?
don't have to just.
Why would he come and throw it all out on there?
Yeah.
Why would he come and really be like? Because in order to really, it's got to be 100.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both
Yes.
people reciprocated.
Yeah.
Both in
And
full
it's hard
force,
'cause
right?
as you get older,
So
your dialogue.
if he's not getting that, how is he going to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with you. And
So you're sabotaging yourself.
I am. And I don't argue that, but I still feel at the end of the day, here's the thing that people really can't wrap around their head. I'm okay with I've dated. I've had my fun. I'm not innocent. I had my son after he passed. Like I was engaged. I was married the one time we don't talk about like all these things, right?
You talk about it every
I've-
time you're on here.
Yeah.
You say the same thing.
And I'm
Stop
like, I
doing
don't know
that.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trina. So I've had, but at 50, I look back now and I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm happy where I'm at. I'm content. Like
But then on
no
the
way.
flip side, you say, if I had Pablo and he came in and did all this, I
Yeah.
would love and dove him, and I would have dinner on the table, and I would treat him this way, and I would do this
I
and
would,
that
but I
for him,
already know
and
it's
I would
never
take his
gonna
boots
happen.
off if he paid the mortgage, and I would do all this stuff. So you're saying this, and you're like,
But I'm also 50. Pablo's not going to pop up.
Why do you
Like-
think that?
Yeah.
Because-
so
You
you
never
believe in God.
I met
I
my
do
husband
believe
when
in
he was
God.
50.
Yeah.
You-
yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. And he's 64. Yeah, no, I met Michael when he turned 50.
Oh, he turned 50.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, you're just about to be 50 something. So I was confused. Okay.
So you have no hope.
Don't add years.
So
on.
you
I'm
say
50.
you say you believe in God, but
I
you have
do.
no hope. That don't make no sense.
No, maybe God said, girl, you've had too much fun. Just
Well,
to feel happy.
He didn't say that.
no,
You
no,
said
no.
that.
No.
No.
You're saying what you're putting
But
word in
I
God.
do.
I want
agree
you to
with
read
about
my
the
shirt. It
self-sabotage,
says,
'cause
boy,
I
bye.
feel the
Yeah,
same
no.
way too.
And I think I'm going to be super passionate about it for you because of who you are and who I've gotten to like. who
I
I've
love
gotten to-
love for everybody else.
Okay, that's
Like,
not the
I
way that
think
it works.
love is amazing. I love hearing your stories. I'm trying to find Mrs. 100% for him.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
I love love. Like, I totally love love. And I will cry. Like, I cried when Will got
the
married. He
wedding?
walked down the aisle and I was
That's because you
bawling,
were
like,
envisioning
like,
yourself
ew,
walking down the aisle
no.
with somebody, not with Will, with somebody, not with
No,
him.
I
with
would
somebody.
run away. I
have
love
that.
love.
Have that love.
Feeling-
Right.
that
Yeah, because
feeling.
even when I hear your story sometimes, like that inside me, there's the hope again.
Yeah.
Like you're like, that's beautiful.
Because you deserve that. And you
right?
should
That
always
love is
know that.
beautiful to see.
So
right?
you think subconsciously I was crying because I want that?
Yes.
Possibly.
Probably.
Possibly.
Oh,
I'm
you
gonna agree,
scolded
yeah.
me with your face right now. Look at her face. She's like,
Because I want you to know that you deserve to be loved.
but do you think that love is home? Like Super Bowl, my nephews were there, grandma was there, my daughters were there.
Because
like,
that's your love
it's-
language is
yes.
loving on your family.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's amazing.
That is
They're
my
very
love.
Blessed. You're blessed. But they also know in their heart of hearts that you deserve to be with somebody to love on you.
Right.
And not family love. I'm talking about
I
your
don't
man.
think I'm afraid that someone's going to break up with me or I'm going to break up with him
Right.
because that's life, right? Relationships don't happen sometimes.
You're afraid that he gets taken
But the
away
fact
from
that
you
you
like
say
the
men
last
gone.
one.
The fact that you
Yes.
say men die
Oh.
before women.
Yes, because they do. Look at my grandpa. Both my grandparents
Maybe
died
even a
before my
young
I think you
grandma.
should see men
Because
that
the women are stressing them out so much
Give
that
me
they
a
die.
5.
Wait, what?
You just missed what,
What?
Daniela said.
Listen, maybe she needs a younger boyfriend.
I'm about to go find me some 42, 43-year-old.
You know,
Be
Whatever
like, what up, Poppy?
whatever.
Come here.
whatever
But you'll
makes you
stress
happy.
them out the same and they'll probably die quick. too.
Wait, what?
That's why they die first.
Wait, what?
They're all stressed out by these ladies.
Oh, my
freaking
God.
It's because you say
Early
that.
grave.
he was hoping for you, and then he threw that in there.
I was like, oh, I'm going to go younger. And you're like, now you're going to kill him too. I do.
It's all right.
I really do feel like,
I thought you Googled it
Love
and,
'em all you
and that's
can.
what you came up with, and it's a fact or something.
no, like my grandpa in Mexico. And okay, so 4 grandparents, amazing 4 grandparents, right? They're old school, hardcore. They've been like through the end of the Depression. My grandparents came from Mexico, got legalized. They're hardcore, all 4 of them, right? But the hardest one was my grandpa Chilo. When he died, I'm going to try not to cry. Before my grandma, I literally was at his funeral like,
When you were pregnant.
I was pregnant with Seth, so I was extra sensitive. I was like, fuck you. Like, you were the last to supposed to, like, you were the strongest. Like, even though you're in a wheelchair, I felt like he would protect me till the day I died. Does that make sense?
So you
So,
He was that
so
big
he,
for you.
protection.
he died.
Yes.
Oh, God, this is not therapy 101. He died.
It's okay.
He died, and then my grandma died. And then here, my grandparents here, my grandpa died. And my grandma, well, we know she ain't ever going to meet Jesus. That lady's still kicking. Like, so men die first.
No.
So, what do you mean no? It's
Could.
No, 'cause
It's a
yeah,
proven-
in your
My
case,
great-grandma
yes, that's
passed
what
first.
happened.
Who did?
My
My grandma
grandma.
died.
Really?
My
My
grandma
great
died
grandpa
before my
literally
grandpa.
shut down and almost passed 2 years to the date. He didn't sleep in the bed anymore. He slept in the recliner. He shut down. His brain shut down, and
He missed her.
life was done. They
Yeah.
were married when they were 15 and 16 years old.
Yeah, that was my grandma in Mexico.
So
She
from-
died a year
yeah.
after him.
From New Mexico, Albuquerque, made their way to San Pedro. I mean,
See, that's love.
dug out the hillside, built houses for. He was a farmer. He had food. They had, during the Depression, they were eating. They had vegetables. They had rabbit. They had whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
They
So
could
they
be.
always had food. And he said there was always businessmen coming, and they were hungry.
Yeah.
Help them out, But
They also
yeah.
don't make men like that
And
anymore.
my great grandma made food, the tortillas, and everything. And
Yeah, my
when
great grandpa lasted
when she
way
passed,
longer
he
than
was
my grandma.
See?
life
Really?
was done for him.
My grandpa
Yeah.
was 104 before he.
Solomon,
Wow.
can you do me a favor
Uh-oh.
since I'm getting
Uh-oh.
reamed? Can you?
Reamed? Who's
Yeah.
reaming you?
Well, you know what? There is one thing I wanted to say, though. You do realize that's trauma, right?
Yeah.
Oh, duh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm all messed up.
so have you ever taken
Hence
any
the
steps to
podcast.
try to put closure to that? Like, have you ever talked to someone professionally about that?
Oh yeah, I did. And believe me, I was a lot worse. So this is like
She's healing. Proof it. She's healing. She's healing. This is the
Like
healing version.
90% right now.
I used to laugh when boys would cry. Like, why are you
Uh-huh.
crying? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Boys don't cry.
Boys
Like,
don't cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was gonna ask you is, can you pull up statistics? Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
boy.
Statistically,
About
Can you
men
Google
dying before women?
Yes, there you go.
Well,
I guess when you
But
say
this
that,
is trauma.
it just
I do
makes me
know
sad.
that.
Yeah.
It is very but I've accepted like there's nothing a therapist isn't gonna tell me that I know. I know it.
Right.
It's just and
It's the saying it out. and
but I
hearing
think it's what
yourself
Tom
say it.
said. It's not that he broke up with me, because then I would have been like, oh,
Yeah.
asshole, right? Well, that girl's ugly that you're with anyways. Who cares, right? We
Yeah.
do that, right?
Right.
It's not that, it was that he just got ripped, and there was like, and I think there was a little bit of guilt, things that happened in our relationship that I never got to say sorry for, stuff like that.
Right.
So that point, I feel like
Now
now
not
that,
having closure.
oh,
yes,
totally.
and so now that I'm 50, and let's say I fall in love, and then that mother sucker in 10 years had a heart attack, I would pound on him in front of the corner.
Yeah.
To
Like,
wake his
you
ass up.
freaking, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why men often die earlier.
Oh boy.
I
What do
always
you
tell my
say?
husband
So-
that he's not going to die before
I need to
me.
put my
so
glasses
according to
on.
this,
I can't-
they take bigger risks. They have more dangerous jobs. They die of heart disease more often at a younger age. They tend to be larger than women. They commit suicide more often than women.
Oh.
They're less socially connected, and they avoid doctors.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
I go to the doctors
all of
with
that.
my
I
husband.
avoid the
Yeah.
doctor.
A
Oh.
lot of men avoid the
I would.
doctor.
It's sad that more men commit suicide
A lot of longshoremen
than
men
women,
do not
though.
go to the doctors.
I mean, I
Y'all
do.
think you're
I go.
invincible or something?
No, I go.
I don't go to
just
the
I
doctors.
just don't.
I don't
make it
believe
a
in
real
big pharma.
habit of doing it.
What?
I don't go to the doctors. I don't take my vaccines. I don't get the flu shot.
But like what you said earlier about, I take care of myself as far as, if I'm trying to sleep right, eat right, get my mind right, like in every kind of way.
I don't go to the doctors. I go to the hoo-ha doctor, but that's about it.
That's about it. huh?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't
Because
like
that's what
taking
you
any kind of
cherish.
medication.
But-
you know?
That is right. You're making connections here.
I'm a therapist.
I go.
Alina.
He is. Dr. Lee's my homie. If like Dr. Lee does like my yearly blood exam or whatever it's called, and yes, he's like, oh, you have high
Blood work.
cholesterol. We don't deal with that, Doctor Lee. We're not taking a high cholesterol
That's
pill.
not
Like,
what you're here for.
yeah, and he's like, but you have high blood pressure. Duh, I'm Mexican. Like, I'm always anxious. What do you mean I have high blood pressure? I understand.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with that.
No,
I'll
you
Yeah,
eat
but
that.
Stop
can you
saying
deal?
you're
Can you
anxious.
deal with those things in different ways, like to
Just eat better.
eat different,
Yeah.
exercise different,
And you
do
you learn to
different-
breathe,
yeah,
and you don't become so like
get scented candles or something.
Yeah.
do
do a whole seance.
Right?
Do a whole seance on
Yeah.
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 light incense.
But look at my
relax.
grandma. She's about to be 93. She'll be dead asleep, and I'll take her blood pressure, and it's high as hell,
Mhm.
and she's asleep.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
your
like,
mi-
what do you
When
do?
you're
Same
sleeping,
way.
you're still. Your
She's
mind's
Yes.
still-
So I just feel like we have high blood pressure. It's in our family. We're just freaking, like Tom says, we're crazy Mexican women.
You just run hot, huh?
Mm,
Yeah.
run out.
Just it is
So
what it
sometimes
is.
when you have a headache, it could be because your blood pressure is high.
I
You
have a-
think it's from sugar.
it's probably from
Probably,
sugar
Yeah.
and a lack of like water or a lack of salt.
Mm.
But again, these are old school things that you can Google, you can study. I don't need to go to a doctor to say.
But okay, you don't know the doctors. We'll talk later.
Uh-oh.
And I'm 50 and I'm super healthy. So if I can make it to 70, I'll be good. Like after 70, well, maybe I'll start drinking tequila every day and smoking, and who cares? Because I
And
made
then
it
you'll
that
make
far.
it to 104.
I know, probably, huh?
Well, look at the woman that you met when we went to do the crafting. She was in her 90s and she was sitting looking pretty on the
This
little
lady.
couch, and she was just
Sipping tequila. She has
What?
a shot of, is it a shot of tequila?
Mhm.
Every day.
Where is
Old
this lady?
Mexican lady from
Where'd you see
Wilmington,
her?
right?
Where'd you see her?
We went to do Valentine crafting.
We went to a Valentine like
Okay.
girl guy kind of thing. Like it was this at someone's house, and someone's grandma was there.
Yeah.
And she was there with her little tequila. They said she drinks it every
My
day.
grandma
Medicine,
likes
huh?
her tequila.
It's
She
like
sips
medicine.
Yes.
And I was just like,
She didn't make a face or nothing.
Nothing.
no.
Oh.
I don't know. I think
think
they
it
don't
runs
have
in their
taste
vein.
buds anymore.
Oh.
It's just,
She was just sipping it, and they said that she's been doing that for years. That she just has a thing of tequila every day, and she lives. But supposedly there's like agave in it and stuff like that. So,
So she doesn't do that much of it. It's just like one.
no,
little
just
shot
like
a
a little
day.
shot every day.
one shot.
Probably good. For
But
you.
Remember,
sipping.
but remember back in the day, they gave you a shot of what was it, like apple cider vinegar or something, or something that
My
these.
grandparents used to give us creme de menthe. I mean, it was.
What was
What?
it?
It's like a creme de menthe. It's a liqueur.
Oh,
Oh yeah, like if you had a cough,
Like
and
cough
a
syrup
little
and all that.
green, you know, and it
Oh, I
was this
remember that.
like crystal bottle that they had it in. And
Really?
they would give us that, and we're like, and they come after. I'm
Oh.
like, that's
So
liquor.
kids would go fall asleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's probably what it was. They're trying to get
Girl,
us all
knock her out. Knock her
knock us all
out.
out, and they would give. No wonder why they're giving everybody shots. They were saying it so that nobody else got sick, right? And it was
Yeah.
like, here you go.
Oh, they're
For
being
you.
Go
preventative.
chill out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh.
Tired of them running around the
Yeah,
house
yeah,
causing
exactly,
trouble.
right.
Go
Uh-huh.
chill out.
You don't
yeah.
remember on
Movie
the,
time. Everybody
on
can
the Little Rascals? Every night they'd get a spoonful of something.
Mm.
castor oil.
There it is,
Yeah,
castor
castor
oil.
oil.
My
Yes.
cousins, they always
That
got
was
a spoonful
castor,
of castor
yes.
oil.
I think that helps you go
And
to the
help you go.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Well,
Supposed to keep your
but your whole
everything-
immune system, it's supposed to keep you healthy, and then people have stopped that. So if you really want to know some old school
Old
herbs
school,
and way, you
yeah.
could go Google it and figure it out and find it out. You don't necessarily need to go to a
If you
doctor.
love your
Just watch Old Little Rascals.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I'll never
exactly.
forget that one time. I was like, what are they drinking? My mom's
But
like,
you
you
still
want to
have
try
to
it?
use the
Yeah.
doctor to monitor if those are working. So go back and do your blood work after you tried
she's
your
doing her
home
blood
remedy.
work.
I do my
She's
blood
doing her
work like
blood
every
work.
year and a half. I do that.
That's not good enough. So let's say they find out that you got, high cholesterol, this and that, and then you're going to go back next year. How do
To
you
your
know what you're doing
gynecologist?
or what you're taking is going to that's
I don't
working?
take my high cholesterol pills.
I
I don't take
understand that. I understand that. What I'm saying is, if you're doing a natural remedy,
Yeah.
how do we know that's working?
Well, I gotta
if
go
you're not
back.
waiting until next year to go back and check it out. So
I gotta
do
go
your
back.
blood work, try your natural remedy, and go back and do your blood work in another 3 months
They're
and see
doing
if it's
every
working.
month.
But you need
be
a primary
consistent.
care
Yes.
doctor, not your gynecologist.
But Dr. Lee's awesome. He takes care of everything. But yes, we talked about this. I do need to get one. But like if I felt like a lump and I went in and they said, "Hey, there's a lump," either leave the lump there or completely remove the entire lump. I'm not going to do a biopsy. I won't let them open it up because you're not going to open it up and let it spread through my body. So there,
Just take it.
yeah, either take it out or
Take
leave
it.
it there,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
We're not doing exploratory.
No, we're not. And I seen Grandma Kay. They did her biopsy. She cut off the chemo she went through. I've seen it. She's like 70 something, almost 80, and I'm like, I won't do that.
Wow.
I don't believe in modern doctors. Just saying. So my thing is, if men die sooner than women,
I told my husband, don't leave me here in the
See?
world by myself.
see, you feel the
And
same
what-
way.
What would be your perspective on the love and loss if he were to pass before you? Would you try again?
No.
No,
No,
we'd go to Europe. We'd go to Ireland. We'd be traveling.
No.
that would be it.
I would-
Just
I
learn how
already
to be
told my-
content with your life or what
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
Well, and I
remember.
think that's like where we're at now. Like I feel like a lot of what he tries to convey is like, I'm trying to make life good for you so that when I'm not here, you don't have to worry about anything,
Right.
which I appreciate, but I would prefer to have
You're
my
still not
husband.
gonna-
protection
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
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 That's only
But I don't.
financial and this and that.
That would be the love and loss. But I wouldn't consider it a loss because I feel like we've grown and learned so much from each other and have a different perspective on like the life that we're living together.
Right.
That I would be able to accept where he's at and enjoy the fruits of his
But
labor
also
and-
that
Yeah.
because of your spiritual beliefs and stuff that would allow you to be able to do that
Yeah.
too, right?
But I do, like it makes me emotional thinking about it because I don't want to be here without him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know he says like, oh, well, you have the girls, our daughters, but it's not the same.
not
Like
the
I want my
same.
daughters to
Yeah.
be with their families and their husbands and their kids and not have to worry about me. So that's why I say like, God forbid something happen, I would literally leave to our house in Arizona and kind of just figure life out from there for a minute. But not be away from my family, but just because that's what we created together. But I would it would all depend on what the circumstances were. Like you don't ever plan like this is how what's going to happen, or it's going to
Right,
happen
right.
this day or that
Yeah.
day. That's why I feel like sometimes when doctors say like, oh, well, you only have this many months left.
Well, they're not
schedule,
Jesus. They don't
I'm
know.
like, you don't
Yeah.
get to determine
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? But you also have to think about, okay, like now what? Because then I think like if that were the case and they did say that, like, okay, now what are we doing?
Mhm.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Like we've talked about it. Like if that is what was presented to us, you only have 6 months to live. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What do you do in 6
Yeah.
months?
Yeah. Really.
Well, I can't say it on here.
Whoa.
She's like, I would, she'd have to go see her OBGYN after 6 months.
No, I'm just saying.
You just turned 2 shades redder.
I think it would be more of like what we're doing already, spending all the time that we can when we are together with our kids, with the grandkids. And that's another thing too. We're in a whole new season of love with the grandbabies. So it's like things are looking different, want to be dealt with differently, even going to the doctors. I tell my husband all the time, I love you so much. You should love yourself enough to want to take care of your health. You like taking care of people. You like taking care of your family. You want to make sure everyone's going to be taken care of when you're not here. You should take care of yourself while you're here
Yeah.
so that we can enjoy each other. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, of course I'm going to take care of my husband or he will take care of me. God forbid that it comes to a point where we can't. But why not be able to enjoy each other while you're healthy and strong and,
Right.
and to be able to, like, you don't want to wait to take care of yourself because they're telling you you're dying.
Exactly.
And wouldn't it help if you're already in somewhat of a good condition inside and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll be easier.
Yeah.
And then also spiritually, it's like,
But it's kind of your duty, like for you
this
to
is your
bring your
temple.
best to the table for my significant other,
Mhm.
and that's mentally, physically, everything spiritually.
Mhm.
Like kind of you owe it to them
Each
because
other.
otherwise I'm shortchanging you because now I'm out on you and I die because I was being lazy to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Or even we've talked about this, you get on me like that, your girl's not taking care of herself. Well, man, you're not taking care of yourself enough to where we can't even go on a hike together. You can't walk that far because you don't take care of that. Like that's shortchanging me now,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
vice versa. If I was so bad with my health or taken care of, or my mental was so jacked up,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
Maybe it is. We
But
won't argue
that is
that
another
fact,
thing
right?
that
I
you
need
have
help
to
there, but
take care of
you
yourself.
got to
on
try
a
to take care of
mental level
yourself
because
in every area,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Every area,
Yeah.
because it's
And
kind
people don't think about that. You do have to mentally make sure that you're
Right.
just as healthy as your physical, as your
Yeah.
insides, like everything. And your mental part is a huge
and
part of
only
it too.
you can do that, Like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
I joked around about it when my oldest daughter, when I found out I was going to be a grandma for the first time, I joked around about it and I said, I'm going to go to therapy. Like I'm establishing my relationship with God, right? But then I was saying, I need to be the best version of myself
Yeah.
for these grandkids.
Right.
Like,
Sure.
I don't want them to think that I'm this crazy, like, woman. Like, I'm going to be better than I
Am
was, better than I am or was to my girls. I'm going to be better for my grandkids. So I started seeing a therapist. So when I would tell my husband, like, oh, I have therapy today. Why? What are you going to a therapist for? It literally is something that I didn't even realize I needed it until I was there.
Right. Right.
Like
Exactly.
mentally and emotionally, and like I'm not just going for me. I'm going for all the people that are around
Yeah,
me.
sure.
That's all the
Yeah,
people have to deal with
totally.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but because I love myself inside enough to want to pour out that love to other people because I need to be good here and here, not just
I'm
when
sure.
they say you don't
I'm
wanna
sure I
just look
failed
good.
people in that area, and I need to do that too.
Well, I went to
But
I
and
gotta
we
go
get to do that. You have great insurance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no reason why you cannot go see.
Well, there is a reason
seek
why.
out, you know
Yeah,
what
but
I
you
mean?
got to get to the right one. You can go to a bunch of ones that are not going to be
There
like
are-
that.
It's
You
like
got to get
dating.
lucky.
Sometimes you
yeah.
got to
Yeah.
go through a few
A
to
bunch
It's
of good
just
find
like
the right
you,
one.
you cherish your hoo-ha. That's why you go to the gynecologist.
Hold on. Okay, since you want, I'll talk about therapists. And Solomon over here wants to talk about trauma as he's swallowing a bunch of strawberries.
She's always like, strawberry, I'll see you with
Hey.
extra strawberries.
We'll talk about therapy. So Vivian, Lexi's mom, who's been on the show, I got to a point where I needed to go to somebody, and so she suggested this lady. was Vivian's lady. I fell in love with her. And I went to her for a good solid 9 months.
More trauma.
No, yes, she was awesome. And then I went away to go see Loran play in Florida. And while I was gone, my nephew got shot at the time. And the trip was a little hard because I didn't know if I should rush home or not, or like all this stuff, right? And I was with Grandma Kay. She said, we'll be home in 3 days. He'll be fine. She was like, but maybe you should see your therapist when you get back. I called my therapist to make an appointment and she died. And I'm not lying.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
No, don't even tell me.
Of a
that.
That's why I
brain-
said more trauma.
Of a brain aneurysm.
Somebody else left
I'm not
her.
lying. Ask Vivian. It's dead serious. And I said, she died of what? And they're like, a brain aneurysm. So when I tell people, they're like, you killed her with all your shit in your head. She died. And she was this heavy set, like jolly, just awesome, non-judgmental lady. She was just amazing. And I would go in and da-da-da, and da-da-da, and she's like, that wasn't your fault. You were a kid. You didn't this. That was like, and so
Yeah.
she died.
And so another person in your
Yeah,
life
another
just
one.
left.
Yeah.
taken
So
out.
I'm
Without-
never
She poured
going.
her heart out.
So
Another
I
love.
am
Opened your
never going
soul
back.
up to.
I am never
and-
going to another therapist. There's no reason. For
Oh
me to.
boy. I don't even. That's
No.
a rough one.
Yes.
That is a rough one.
Like I
Oh,
told
Alina.
her things I have never told my sister or my kids. Like,
And she took it to the grave.
oh boy, let me
Oh.
tell you, she did. She did.
I'm just literally.
Trina being
I mean,
literal.
respectfully. I mean, respectly, like she took it
No,
to the
but
grave. She's
she
not going to
did,
share it with
really,
anybody
yeah.
else.
And so for me, I'm good. I got me and
Oh,
Jesus.
boy.
We're good.
Okay,
We're good.
okay.
Like I feel like my angel is the angel that's like this.
no.
Oh, this. Like, oh God, Jesus, get your daughter. Jesus, get her because I'm done. I can't.
How did I
like-
get assigned to her?
Yeah, like he's gone through 15 of them, and they keep like.
Somebody else.
Overtime every day with this one right here, every single day.
So I'm like, so for me, it's better to have loved. I mean, it's better to have not have loved than to have lost. Like that, it's just,
Mm.
it's too much for my little heart. I can't take it.
I can't wait till the day when you say you were wrong.
I'm never wrong, Trina. Duh.
Oh, my bad.
I know,
So-
right? We never are.
Yeah.
Never.
I would just, like if Tom was like, I met the one, I'd be like, yes. If you called me, I'm happy for everybody, and that fulfills me. I'm happy that everybody's happy. Like when Seth meets the one, Loran met her one, like all of that. Just like
I think you feel happy because you still have that little bit of
Hope.
hope in you. So as you see other people become happy,
real. It's
somewhere
alive.
you're subconsciously it could build up and become yours.
Well,
too.
these two, the three of us were texting last week. And I think it was you that was getting all over me. And I was like, I'm like Wonder Woman. I'm blocking everything that comes my way.
You think?
And I sent a picture of Wonder Woman. You remember she had those,
Uh-huh,
those
the bulletproof.
bands?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Trina didn't like that comment. She was a little mad, but I was like,
I said to her
I
that
don't get
she was
mad.
like the Mexican candies, the little saltalitos that was all
Oh,
shriveled up.
Mhm.
You know, that she needed to put some sugar and water that damn
Wow.
thing. That was her heart.
Salalitos. Mhm.
You know,
he was like, you're salty and old. That's what he told me.
shriveled up.
No, shriveled. That's
Oh,
horrible.
He's like, but I'm not shriveled.
Like a petrified
I'm not
heart.
sure.
She's like, Dr. Lee
Petrified.
doesn't say I'm shriveled.
I ain't
Dr.
shriveled.
Lee does say that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like, especially at our age, we're all over 50.
Mhm.
It's at this point, like, I've had so much fun. And according to Solomon Trauma, I'm golden. Like, I'm good.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
My couch is comfy. The dogs are amazing.
I think I had told you before at the hall, you know, that my friend had said that she was dating this guy and he's going to come over and spend the weekend with her. And the
Oh, yeah.
first thought that went through my head, I'm like, all weekend?
Yeah.
Like he's going to be here
Yes.
Friday to Monday? Like, does he have friends here? Like,
And then I
like,
said, does
is
she
he
water
gonna be
him?
hosting him all
Yeah.
weekend?
Do you
I'm-
take
and
him
then
for a walk?
And then in my own head, because I got this whole conversation going on, I'm just like, girl, you are not ready. If that's your first thought, just stay where you're at, stay single, just you're not ready. Because my first thought was like, he's going to be at your house. Same bathroom.
What if you have to
bed,
fart?
like,
What if you
the
have to,
whole
like,
thing.
yeah, like.
How are you going to entertain him for that long? Were you going to go to the movies? Like, and I'm like,
when
no.
the right one comes
In, then you're not going to care if it's
you're
one
gonna
day,
say,
Tuesday, 3 days.
This is it. This
Yeah.
is him. And
Yeah.
yes, we're spending the
Yes.
every day together.
Yes. Yes.
Is that
exactly.
true,
That's how I
Tom?
knew, like, oh yeah, my
Oh,
mindset
no.
is not it's not there. I was like,
I think
It will
so.
work.
I think so.
If you met the one, you would know.
We would know.
We would know his one.
You would know for him. Is that it?
Well, because
They'll
when you
decide.
meet her,
Yeah.
you can tell.
Maybe I have, and they just you like I told you, you could be right in front of you, you wouldn't even see, you wouldn't even notice it. You like so maybe they came right in front and just passed me by.
I agree. I agree.
I was like,
You probably
oh,
have
shit.
met her.
She already
and she's
freaking
just not-
is here.
I don't
not
know.
receiving it.
No, I think you would know. You don't think you would know?
Who would know?
Him. Or if you're single and you've met the one, that chemistry's like
I
there.
don't know if we feel it like that
No,
anymore.
no.
Like the
I'm
The-
sure you
that,
do
like-
feel a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Now
stuff.
that we're 50, do we look at things differently because
we do.
we hold back more, we're more reserved,
Yeah.
we're jaded, so we guard our hearts. We're
Mhm.
we take
compared
a
to
lot
when
more
we're
things
young.
in consideration
Right.
too.
Yes.
A lot of logistics, a lot of
And our wants and needs are
everything is
different.
for-
Yes.
Especially, I think we're all established.
Yeah.
We all have established financial situations,
Mhm.
housing, and everything. So you're not looking for that
It's
particular in
everything.
another person. You're looking for somebody maybe that has similar interests, like hiking
Mhm.
or wanting to go travel, and having the ability to do that. Because
Yeah.
you need to have someone that's the same financial level if you want to be someone that's traveling everywhere. Unless you're willing to be the person that finances it all, but you're looking for different things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you may not initially just meet somebody and be like, "Oh my God, he's gorgeous," blah blah blah. Oh,
Well, who cares?
She's like, I want to be his sugar mama.
yeah, like that man is mine. Like he's fine. And
you want to
he's-
travel? I got you, boo.
See, I think that happened when we were young.
I'd be out that. Like I'm not saying no,
Yeah.
but
You gotta be open to it.
What you're looking for is different because you're looking for a partnership on a different level.
Yeah.
you
for
know,
sure.
and like I've had a conversation before, like. I could be strong-minded and strong-willed,
No.
and to put it softly without hurting my own feelings. But like I've even asked, I'm like, don't you like having a companion that doesn't ask you for money? That could fix her own car when it breaks down. I don't need you to watch
no,
my
men
kids.
are Captain Save a
I don't
Home.
Yeah.
need you. Because I have had that heart to heart where I've had to lay in bed and just tell them, like, I don't think I'm the person for you. What you're looking for it's not me. I love you. I think we do great things together, but I know what you're looking for, and it's not me.
Men don't
It's-
like
and it-
strong
and it-
women.
and it's
That's not
That's not
necessarily
true.
true.
That's the case.
That's not true.
No.
Alina.
I hear that all the time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't. I call bullshit.
Danielle, please.
I know. I feel like a lot
Men love a
more
strong
now,
woman.
Like I've met a lot more men that like more nurturing, motherly.
Why can't you be all of those
Um,
things?
Men want a woman who is
Okay.
Captain Save a Home.
I have no problem-
And not
no,
a
no,
Nobel Peace Prize winner.
No, I have no problem.
No, not you. Why can't men
no.
like love women that are strong, nurturing?
Oh,
All
I'm not
those
saying that
things?
they can't. Absolutely not. But on the flip side, if you're having a relationship or partnership, I consider if you want to be the king of the house,
Mhm.
the head of the household, the protector, whatever, you need to be that.
Yes.
You need
Yeah.
to, maybe not financially. Obviously, you're not. I don't expect you to pay my bills. I like my things. I like my things.
Yeah.
But if you expect to be treated like a king and dinner made for you,
Yeah.
whatnot, you need to bring that protection to my. You need to be my security.
Yeah.
You need to be the person that I don't know. You hear someone talking shit and you're standing up for me. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you need to back down. You can't just be like, oh, well, they just, I didn't want to start anything. No, bitch, I want you to start something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom?
What do you
Yeah.
see?
That's
you
Tom.
want me
That's
to,
Tom.
I would love to cook.
No, I don't have a problem with any of that.
You're protecting
No.
me. I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you're going out there and you got my back,
Yeah.
and you're being the king of your castle.
Yeah.
All these guys want to be, they want to be daddy, but
Well, that's kind of what you were talking
Well, that's
about.
what I
but they want to be
Okay.
treated like a boy. They want to be, well, don't you want to take care of me? Well, you made food. Don't you want to bring it over? Like, dude, I just worked all fucking day. I'm going to feed myself. You want to come over and eat? Come over and eat. Like, let me pack you a lunch and bring. And then I come over and there's like, where's the salsa and the tortillas?
You're like, you should have came to my house for all that.
Excuse me?
Mhm.
Like,
Well, I think that though. I think when the guy's doing all those things to take care of you and is making sure that you're, hey, you know what? I noticed your tire's low. I'm gonna go fill it
Yeah.
up. I'm walking you in the inside of there. I'm
Mhm.
making sure that you're inside the house. That before I leave and it's locked and you're good. Like you're doing all those things and you're making sure she's good and so you are
And that is
protecting her
so
and everything,
appreciated.
right? And so, and so then to get a dinner or to get
right.
is what do you mean? Is that out of the question?
Right,
Just
right.
because you're tired? Well, I might have been tired too, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go fill up your tire.
Right.
It doesn't mean, any of these things. So I'm still going to be looking out for your best interest
I'm talking
because
about
you're my woman and because I want
like a
to make
specific
sure.
circumstance, but like that's absolute. That
But Tom's
little
one in
things
a
like
million.
that, like I am super appreciative for because I've had exes like that where I've woken up and he's taking my car to go get washed. He's like, "Hey, we did that long drive to Sacramento.
Yeah.
I already got the car wash detailed. Here's some gas. Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's make some breakfast. Let's get it going."
Yeah.
It's
Or he's already making you breakfast.
yeah, or he's already gone to
Got
the store.
coffee
He's
right
like,
there
"Hey,"
and breakfast.
yeah.
And let's go. Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I already got a bunch of cold cuts. Let's make sandwiches and go take off. Let's go do something." And I'm appreciative of that. I shouldn't have to answer.
And I'm not tripping like on a girl that's tired one day and she doesn't want to make you nothing to eat that
Yeah,
day. Well,
yeah.
big deal. Call for a pizza today.
I feel too
but
at getting older, my wants and needs for myself are different. Even I go home and I'm like, I ain't cooking nothing. I go open the fridge and I'm like, there's some pickles, there's an egg, there's this, and
simple.
that's
That's all
my
I
dinner.
need.
I'm
Yeah.
happy,
Good enough.
and I could make some popcorn, and that's my dinner.
Yeah.
I don't need a 3-course meal. I'm just like, that's a half a sandwich I didn't finish, that tuna right there,
Yeah.
and good to go.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
need to make a full on
Yeah.
meal, fresh beans and everything. I'm like, that's it tonight.
yeah.
And
Well-
then the half a coffee I left in there, and I go
Yeah.
to my room and I'm
Well,
good.
I think we're gonna have to come back because we're wrapping it up now. We're gonna have to come back because that's like Tom and I have always argued this, and Solomon is, on Tom, like they're guys. But I think that these two men don't realize they like you said, they want to be daddy
Mhm.
and they want a weaker woman so they can be daddy. So on
Wow.
that note,
Let me go find my box for
we're-
Alina to put me in.
We're getting into the second.
I know.
tier.
That's what I'm
throwing
like.
it
We're
out.
going to have to come back on that topic. Look at Trina's face. She's like, oh, we're going to get yelled at.
Mhm.
We're going to have to, as soon as we cut right now and we go at it, that's going to be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we all have Instagram. Please, please, please hit subscribe on YouTube. We are so close to reaching 1,000. That is my goal by the 2-year mark to reach 1,000.
When's 2 years?
March or
May,
April.
June. Oh,
No, March or April. I got to look at the actual date. I don't remember, Solomon.
Coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming soon. So, this is going to come out on Thursday, the day before Valentine's. So, everybody
Happy
enjoy your
Valentine's.
day, enjoy love. Boo.
Enjoy love, Alina.
I will. I'll be at work or with grandma and the dogs. Thank you guys. Danielle, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Karen.
Thank you, Solomon.
No problem.
Please, please, please hit subscribe. And until next time, bye.